Hello, everyone, and welcome to the CONMEBOL Copa America USA 2024. We're with Coach Jesse Marsch and player Maxime Crepeau from Team Canada. Before getting started, kindly be reminded that broadcasting or recording is strictly prohibited with cell phones or any other devices. Remember that simultaneous translation is available through the Interratio web app that can be accessed through our mobile devices. You can see that there are QR codes around the room. You will also be able to access the press conference with the use of the QR code. To ask questions, kindly raise your hand and wait for the microphone. Introduce yourself by stating your name and the name of your media. We can now get started with the first question.
Matthew Chenet with TSN. I understand the path is 2026, but how important is getting a result in this tournament for this team? And Max, you can chime in as well.
Yeah, we're excited for the match. I think the preparation has been good, and we know the Peruvian team well. We've discussed what they will present, and we want to treat this match with all the gravity that it deserves and do everything in our power to play well and to find a victory. So that focus, even in our overall development path, is very clear with our group right now.
Yeah, and Jesse just mentioned the fact that every game is up for grab. We want 3 points. That is our objective. Of course, there's a long version of the process for 2026, but we are in the moment present right now, and our objective will be to get 6 points out of the group for the next 2 games. But one game at a time, one focus at a time. But we're not playing for draw or loses. We're playing for winning.
And just to that point, Max, you've been obviously with this team for longer than Jesse has been. How much does this team want to result in a major tournament?
Everyone sees the development in the way that you guys have played. Everyone sees everyone's development in their club careers. But this group together, getting a result in a major tournament, how important would it be?
Yeah, I believe it's the next step for our program as well, because there's been a lot of change in the way we play and the way we got together, but I think our next step for our federation is to get wins at big competitions, because the 90 minutes itself presents it, and we have a good group of players, and the commitment is amazing, and now it's about to get results.
Jesse, how are you today?
Good.
So much of the talk leading up to this game, both from the outside and earlier from Peru's coach, has been.
We good? Good? No one wants to hear me anyway. So much of the talk leading up to this game has been, again, from Peru's coach from the outside, has been about the physicality that will likely happen during the game. What have you done on the inside to ensure that the discipline is of a high priority for your team?
Well, we all watched the match together and saw the 35 fouls and the lack of rhythm in the match. So we've talked about what to expect, the tactics, but also the mentality of the way that the Peruvians play and the way that they fight on the pitch for each other. And so we respect that. We understand that. We're going to be clear that we have to, in order to earn the right to go after the game in the way we want, we have to be up for the physicality of what that will require. So I don't think anyone in the team will expect anything less but total commitment from the Peruvian side, and a game that will be very physical. And we're going to be prepared for that. We're not naive. We're clear with what that will mean. But we want to still understand that, but stay true to what we're trying to develop and have discipline in the way we play, so that we can find a way to gain an edge in the way that we want to play the game.
Sano para Claro Sports. Muy buenas tardes. If you want, I can say it.
English is muy bien.
Do it in Spanish and English.
Okay.
Justo antes de la conferencia de prensa estabas preguntando al respecto de las temperaturas y cómo Perú percibe las temperaturas en su país. ¿Cómo crees o ves la importancia de la temperatura de las canchas para el partido de mañana? And say it in English. Just before the press conference started, you asked about Peru and the temperature in their country. If it's too warm, just like we're seeing right now, do you think they'll have an advantage towards the game, respect of the temperatures, and how that could be an advantage or disadvantages for you?
I've been to Peru, I've been to Lima, I've been to Machu Picchu, okay? It's a beautiful country with amazing people, close to the equator, so typically it depends a little bit if you're in Lima or if you're up in the mountains, what the temperature is. Look, I think the Peruvians are fit, they're strong, they're experienced. The challenge of playing in the weather tomorrow will be big for both teams. We're preparing, not just for the opponent, but for what the elements will be and make sure that we understand what kind of game. I think it affects the game tactically, and we have to be intelligent with how we manage the heat. But I think in all ways, we're expecting Peru's absolute best. And this moment and this game means as much to them as it does to us. And to expect anything less would be foolish.
Por acá, ¿cómo está? Buenas tardes a los dos. Jean-Paul Cuadros, de América Televisión de Perú. Profesor, la pregunta es para usted. Hace 1 hora y media, 2 horas aproximadamente, hablaba el técnico de Perú, Jorge Fossati, y mencionaba acerca de la pierna fuerte o la fricción, la alta fricción que su selección tuvo en el partido del debut frente a Argentina. Y él decía, y cito literal la frase, si esto lo tenemos que llevar a los golpes, no rehuiremos a los golpes. Yo creo que lo dijo más de manera metafórica que literal. En todo caso, ¿qué sensación le produce esto? De que haya una observación, casi queja, del técnico de Perú acerca del juego fuerte o quizá brusco que ustedes podrían proponer el día de mañana. Gracias.
Look, I understand that the Peruvian coach is looking for a way to understand what we're going to bring to the match. And he's preparing his team for what he thinks we are. So both sides, I think, have watched the initial match and understand what the strengths are of each team. I think our team plays with speed and power, but also intelligence. And I thought, in many ways, we tested Argentina. In the end, we knew Argentina was a very good team. And on the day, it wasn't enough for us to get the result. But I think we showed in a lot of levels that we have an athletic team, but we have an intelligent team, we have a tactically good team, and we're only in the initial parts of our process, but we've enjoyed the process that we've had, and we're excited for this challenge, and we know that Peru, each match presents a little bit different challenges, and each opponent that way, and we're clear that Peru will be up for the match in every way, and that they will be combative, but we will as well, but we'll be intelligent and disciplined. Thank you. Gracias.
Daniel Sperry, Kansas City Star. Both of you guys have played here or coached here in MLS. I'm just curious to get your thoughts on the field surface that you'll play. A little bit larger than what was in Atlanta, but also it's better, more natural grass, right? So just how much of an effect does that have on what you guys are hoping to do going forward, and how much nicer is it to play on a more natural surface?
Yes, as you just mentioned, it's way better to play on a soccer-specific stadium. When I say that, there's not layers of grass that it was just put in a couple of days earlier, but I've been here actually club level a couple of weeks ago, and the field right now is in a way better condition. It's short, it's going to be fast, and so we know what's at stake as well in terms of the surface, and so there's not going to be any unpredictable bounces or flicks, if you can say, and so it will just allow us to play a nice football, a nice quality of football.
Yeah, the only thing all the pitches are the same. So they've made them all 110 by 70. So they're a little bit smaller than what some of these football-specific stadiums are. So, there are tactical nuances that I think you have to be aware of in knowing the space of the pitch. And we've talked about that as a team. And yeah, I think this is a great place to play. I have many good memories here, some bad memories too. But again, we're really focused and excited for this match tomorrow.
Yair Ramírez de Inca Sports. Primero, hacerle la consulta. ¿Qué tanto conocen de la selección peruana? Si tienen referenciado a algunos jugadores del equipo del profesor Jorge Fossati. Y también para ambos, ¿consideran que el partido del día de mañana ante la selección peruana es una final pensando en la clasificación a la siguiente fase de esta Copa América? Gracias.
Yeah, so we've scouted Peru in depth. Also, their coach. They play in a very aggressive style of football, and they've developed that in their last matches together. I think now this will be their fifth match under their new coach. A lot of their players have played in MLS or in North America. Certainly they have some real experience on the pitch, and Lapadula certainly up front provides a lot of that. The three strong center backs in Collins, Zambrano, and Araujo. So we know that they're very combative and very aggressive to defend forward. They're good on set pieces, very organized, can defend deep but still be very aggressive. So, they play a style of football that I think honors their region and the type of players that they have. And I think they're very, very well organized and very difficult to break down. Haven't given up a lot of goals. So we know we're in for a big challenge.
You don't have to release your starting 11 now for a whole day, but if we do see changes, what is your take on kind of evaluating, given what this match means, but also in part of your process?
Yeah.
If you do make changes, give us a sense of the rationale behind it.
Yeah, in the end, I've tried to invest in the entire 26-player pool in a way to help them understand where we're trying to go. And maybe down the road, there'll be more of a focus on just getting sort of the top group ready. But I think right now we have to, get the most out of every experience that we have together and include as many players in the process as we possibly can so that we can identify exactly which players we need to continue to invest in for the future. So any change that we made would be always based on that balance, on really evaluating the whole group, but addressing each moment that we're in so that we give ourselves the best chance to be successful.
Jesse, just wanted to ask you about Moyes, not about what has happened over the last few days, but just about in your time with him, what you've learned about him as a person and as a player.
Incredible character, and a highly, highly talented young player who wants to learn, wants to grow, wants to be part of the future here with the Canadian national team, but you can also see wants to push himself in his professional career to the highest level. And I think from our perspective, there's only a matter of time before he's going to get some big opportunities coming his way. It's been a pleasure to work with him because he's eager to learn. And I think he understands there's a lot of rewards for the way that we're playing and how it fits with the style of player that he is. Now, he's made some mistakes along the way, which I think is normal for any developing international. But I think he's held up really well in some really tough matches. And, him and Derek have formed a really good partnership. And I think that, it's exciting for the future of the team what Moyes can become, match to match, month to month professionally, and then what he could look like in 2 years.
Agencia de Noticias France Press, AFP. I will ask in Spanish. Sé que obviamente usted está preocupado por el funcionamiento de Canadá, pero en Perú hay una baja muy importante que es la de Luis Advíncula. ¿Qué significa en el planteamiento del partido el que enfrente no haya un jugador con la proyección que tiene Advíncula, con el peso que tienen ambos costados de la cancha? Y si es una, digamos, oportunidad, ¿no?, para explotar considerando la fortaleza que tiene Canadá con sus jugadores por banda, empezando por Davis, ¿no?
Yeah, we watched the game, and it was an unfortunate injury. We know he's their captain and the leader of their team and a very important figure in their team. You could see his disappointment on the bench when he knew that he was probably out for the tournament. So I've read a little bit, but there hasn't been a whole lot. I would assume that he's not ready like you assume. But I think Flores came in and did a really good job and is a very active player, and he's young and a little bit more inexperienced, but I think brings some quality to the way they can play on the left. So, we've prepared for what the match will look like. And I think, again, we are adjusting everything that we're doing to expect the absolute best of Peru and a team that's going to compete for every single moment on the pitch. And that will be a challenge for us, but again, one we're excited for and one that we'll be ready for.